Nix, you say men are not the primary victims of war. While you agree with the statement, men are not the primary victims of war. Why is that?
Because I think, are we taking into the account, like, what was I thinking? Oh, women and children. Because, I don't know, from my point of view, like World War II, yeah, there were a lot of soldiers. Are we thinking about the comfort women and, like, all the shit that was happening with, like, oh my God, in Asia?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any metric by which men can be more victimized than women in your worldview?
Any metric?
Yeah.
More victimized than women?
Yeah. Is it
Sure.
ever possible for a man to be more victimized than a woman?
Sure.
Like generally speaking, not like a specific man. I'm speaking generally.
Sure.
Okay. So even in war, women are the primary victims.
I didn't say that.
You agree with the statement.
I just don't think that men are inherently always the primary victims of war.
Men across the board are the primary victims of war.
You're just saying that?
It's true.
Well,
Okay.
so there could be a guy who is a general and he never sees any battle in war and he's safe, and there could be a woman, like a female civilian who like gets bombed and she's dead. I'm looking at a generalized view of what war is, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, is it possible in war that a particular woman can have it really, really bad and like a particular man doesn't have it bad in war? Sure. But if we're looking at the actual victims, if we start adding everything up, it's hard to hear a compelling argument for how men are not the primary victims, given the fact that in every military conflict in human history, men have predominantly been the ones who die, who get injured, who deal with the trauma related to and associated with war, post-traumatic stress disorder. This has been called previous things in the past, shell shock, battle fatigue, all sorts of different things. Predominantly men. There's all kinds of atrocities and barbarities that almost exclusively men have experienced as it relates to war. Men are almost throughout all of human history, exclusively, they're the actual soldiers who witness these things, experience these things. I agree with you that yes, during warfare, there have been civilian women who have been like essayed. Female civilians do die in war. Baby boys and baby girls, well, not babies always, just children. So boys and girls also die in war. Given that, though, I'm confused how you would arrive at women are the primary victims of war.
I never said that.
Well, okay, but you agree with the statement.
I mean, I was more so going in the direction of like men are not the only victims of war, and I think it's also important to think of like the women and the children that also suffer as victims of war. Like, what do they suffer from as opposed to the men that are in war?
I'm not dismissing that women can be victims in war, children can be victims in war. Absolutely the case. What we're looking at, though, is who's the primary victim of war.
Would you say that getting shot is worse than getting sexually assaulted? Just throwing it out there.
I mean, it depends
Exactly,
on the nature of the... Well, hold on. But let me ask you this. Would you kill 10 men to prevent one woman? Yes. Okay.
Sorry. I'm joking.
Would you kill 10 men to prevent one woman from being essayed?
Like, deadass kill them? I mean,
You don't have to be the one that kills them. You just snap your fingers and 10 men are dead to prevent one essay.
Was the essay violent enough to kill her?
No. She got essayed. And she's still alive.
Yeah, she was just essayed, no big deal. But no, I don't think so.
Your question was, is she dead because of the essay? And the answer is no. She's still alive.
Well, you said it like it was obvious, but that happens sometimes.
Okay, but that would be a separate crime of murder. Like the essay itself typically
this
doesn't...
is semantics.
No,
just
it's not
the
semantics.
question. Okay, the question.
The essay itself on its own does not typically result in death. What?
Okay, back to your question.
He could then murder the woman, but the essay itself does not...
It can.
It can.
There's babies, you know.
Oh, that's secondary, but So would you murder 10 men? You don't have to do that. You just snap their
Would
fingers.
I cause the death of 10 men?
Would you cause the death of 10 men to save one woman from being essayed?
If she's not like dying, then yeah, no, I would not do that.
How about, wait, hold on. How about she dies?
No. This is literally just the trolley problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to
Right.
I'm trying to weigh like the moral.
Oh, like at what point is an essay bad enough to kill?
Well,
10
because
men?
I'm so here. Look,
Or how many men do I have to kill to equate to an essay?
the reason I ask this is because while it is absolutely the case that during wartime women do get essayed, the invading army, the soldiers, they'll essay the civilian population. It is also the case throughout almost all wars in human history, but if we look to more recent ones like World War I, World War II, women were absolutely being essayed. There's no question about it. Totally barbaric. Awful crime, one of the worst crimes that you can commit. But more men died during World War II than did women get essayed. Like orders of magnitude more.
What?
So then while we can acknowledge that women are victims, there are more men who are victims in this scenario.
I think the difference is that no woman signs themselves up to be essayed, whereas men put themselves in war and they're taking that
Plenty
risk.
of men get forced to war, and they had, especially World War I, World War II. Most of them were, there's war propaganda. They lie about what they're getting into. I would argue that there's, when it comes to informed consent, this sort of thing, I don't really know if a lot of people know what they're signing up to when it came to World War I, World War II. I don't think a lot of these men expected to go to the trenches and be out there for months and get shell shock and watch half their squad or whatever die. But in any case, even if it was a full volunteer force, even if you volunteer to do something, you're still can be a victim.
I just think that it's different, just because no woman really signs up to be essayed.
Okay, so fine. I'll present this to you. 10 men who volunteer to war, who volunteer to be 10 men who are, what would be the framing here? Would you rather see 10 men who volunteered to go to war be killed if it saved one woman from being essayed? If you can control it somehow.
I just think that's an unrealistic thing to ask, personally.
I mean, it's just, okay, it's a hypothetical to test your logic.
I understand.
Okay, what's your answer?
No, I just feel then no.
Okay, so if it's the case, for example, let's say there were, I don't know the exact numbers, let's say there were 100,000, we'll go higher. Let's say there were 500,000, 500,000 essays during World War II. Do you even know how many military deaths there were during World War II?
Not off the top of my head. Not off of the top of my head.
Okay, it was 20 million plus. Let's say there was 500,000 essays. It could be more, could be less. I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers. In any case, we do know quite definitively there were certainly more deaths than there were essays. In this case, who's the primary victim of war?
Do you think that a death carries more generational trauma than what comfort women faced?
More generational trauma? You'd have to explain to me what generational trauma is.
Generational trauma is it's a traumatic event that occurs with, one person from one generation, and then the effects of it carry on to their kids, their family.
Yeah, this is a great red herring. It doesn't really answer my question.
I was just asking
who's the
another
primary
question.
victim.
Well, it leads into what I was trying to say.
I don't know. I couldn't say. Probably, maybe not.
I don't know, but it
Let's
was
say
just a
it does.
thought. I think
Let's say it causes more generational trauma.
because I don't know. I'm genuinely curious. What generational trauma does a death in active service cause? Can you think of something?
Kids being ripped from their
I
fathers.
mean,
But would you argue
This-
that also happens with comfort women?
With what?
comfort women. Like,
What do you mean
their
comfort
kids are
women?
ripped from them. That's the generational trauma. Like,
Okay, this is going to sound really fucked up, but I'm going to bite the bullet on this.
Just now.
I'm gonna
now.
bite-
Getting the fucked up.
only this.
This is going to sound really fucked up, but I feel like it's a counter to your argument. So, my dad, this is such a, I can't even, do I even want to say it? I would prefer my dad be victimized in that way, but he still lives, and hope he can overcome the trauma that was inflicted upon him.
Of sexual
through
assault?
This, yes.
Okay.
Through this act. I feel like it would still be really, really traumatic for that to happen to him, but I would be happy that he's still alive.
Would he be happy that he's still alive?
I don't know. Here's the thing. You can't come back from being dead. People do heal. It's a terrible crime, incredibly traumatic. This is something that people can heal from.
Yeah. But this is just why I think there's so much nuance to that question. Like, can you be more of a victim?
Yes. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Can you quantify trauma?
Well, hold on. So, would you agree that it's traumatic for the boyfriend, the father, the brother of a woman who's been SA'd? Can that be traumatic for them?
I think to some men it could be traumatic.
To some men? I'm sorry. Like, what?
What?
You would agree that they would. How about this? Here's the metric. You would agree that they would face some degree of suffering by witnessing a loved one be a victim to this crime.
Yes.
Okay. I would never say that, although it is the case that being the brother, the father, the boyfriend, the son, whatever it is, while they can suffer, I would say they're secondary victims. I would never say that they are primary victims and that their suffering would ever supersede the suffering of the primary victim, which is the woman who was SA'd. Your line of argumentation is, well,
I never said that they were more of a victim or anything. I'm talking about the soldier and the woman.
You're saying women are the primary victims of war.
I didn't say that.
You agree with the statement.
I didn't.
Here, I'll read it.
I said men are not.
Men are not the primary victims.
Not women
okay,
are.
well then, by deductive reasoning, if men are not the primary victims of war, then who?
Do you think
Women?
trans women were huge victims in war? Yeah. But
What the fuck?
Okay. How about this? But again, the woman who's been SA'd is the primary victim. The secondary victims would be the boyfriend, husband, father, brother, son. I would be really upset and really hurt if that happened to my girl. But I would never say, I'm the primary victim here.
No one
She's the
was saying
primary
that.
victim. Right, no, but you're doing that to war and the victimization of men in war. And that they are the primary victims. How about this? I'll give you another one. During pregnancy, it's really hard for us men. Us men have it really hard.
yeah, you get your period.
When y'all be pregnant. Like, men are the primary sufferers when women are pregnant. And men, when you're giving birth, when you're pushing out, a girl's going to squeeze your hand really hard.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Ooh, it hurts. She squeezes your hand. And it hurts. Am I the primary, I won't say victim, but I'll say sufferer. Are men the primary sufferers?
Suffragette over here.
Are men the primary? Yeah, because women aren't victims when they're pregnant. But they suffer when they're pregnant in some degree. Women are clearly the primary sufferers when they're pregnant, not
Yep.
the husband.
Yep.
Okay, so if you can't, I don't get it. All right, she can't even grant men. All right, I don't know.
What was your argument there?
I'm
No,
willing
I
to-
was just trying to say, like, can we quantify the trauma that comes with comfort women? Well, that's only one
Yes,
example
we can
of how women-
quantify it. War is the most historically researched thing ever. World War II, the most researched and documented incidents in human history.
Can you
we
put a number to
quantify
how
it.
traumatic
yes,
it was?
we know how many men died.
We know how many men died. We don't know how many men were traumatized.
I would rather be traumatized than die. Me personally.
Well, that circles back to my other question. Like, do you think it's worse to die or to be permanently traumatized for the rest of your life? Which one do you think is greater suffering?
You said you could heal.
You
I,
could
I believe you can heal from that.
yeah.
I believe you can heal. Okay. We have Christine here.
Christine donated $100. I hate this war question, because the point is to show how stupid and illogical women are. You guys make us look stupid because you are stubborn and want to be right, and create clips to make us look stupid.
Wait, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, though. You would agree that when it comes to war, war can manifest in a lot of different ways, but let's say there's one belligerent army that's attacking another nation, right?
Sure.
Right.
Like
And-
guerrilla war tactics.
Well, take, for example, World War II.
Yeah.
Okay, Germany invaded France, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's possible that when this occurred, I'm not an expert there's definitely like on different fronts in the Eastern Front when like Russia was invading Germany and when prior to that, when Germany invaded Russia, quite a bit of essay, to my knowledge. I don't know if the rates were as high on the Western Front, when they were going through like Belgium, Netherlands, whatever, and into France. I don't know if, I'm just going to assume there was essay, right? You would agree, though, that there were German soldiers who died invading France, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Were there German women being essayed during that time period?
Sure.
From the French?
Sure.
How? The French were not in German territory.
I stopped listening to what you were saying. I'm going to be so for real. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I'm trying to be good faith here.
I know. I'm sorry.
Are you doing that because you know that you're about to be BTFO'd on your point and proven wrong?
No, I'm just tired. I'm sorry.
This is why the wage gap exists, by the way. I think, let me see if you wrote down. There is a gender wage gap. That's why there's a gender wage gap, folks. Mm-hmm. Men are sturdier in the face of conversation. All right, love it. In this case, though, can you at least try to participate?
I'm trying, I promise.
I'm trying to move on from, this is my last point on the war thing. Mm-hmm. You'd agree that German men died when they invaded France?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe, look, I'm not expecting you to be an expert in World War II. I'll tell you definitively that the French army was not at any point in German territory prior to the invasion of France. Mm-hmm. So given this, the German women were not victims of SA at that point in the war. So you would have to concede, at least in this specific metric, that the women were not victims, or not at least on the German side, were not the primary victims of war. Can you at least concede to that?
Sure.
What are you conceding to? Just so I know you're not trolling.
Conceding to the fact that German women were not the primary victims in that scenario.
Right. And then you would agree in other situations, for example, in the United States, when U.S. military men in World War I, World War II, when they went to Europe, when they went to Vietnam, when they went, they were also in the Pacific theater of war during World War II. There was no land invasion of the United States ever. Well, hold on. Starting World War I, there was never a like the Germans didn't invade the United States. Japanese didn't invade the United States. The Vietnamese definitely did not invade the United States. So you'd agree, at least from the perspective of the United States military, the population of the United States, the men are the primary victims of war because no woman has been essayed on U.S. soil by an invading army.
On the U.S. side, sure.
Sure. And it's possible that those men, the United States men, when they went to these other countries, it's certainly plausible that they did commit acts of SA. But you would agree that from this paradigm, the women in the USA were not essayed by an invading force because there was no invading force in the United States.
Sure.
Okay. So given that this is a constant factor in warfare, there's typically the belligerent army. I mean, sometimes it can change. The belligerent army is invading another country. Their women are not being essayed in their country.
Their women, yeah.
Right. But here's the distinction. You have military deaths on both sides. Mm-hmm. Military deaths on both sides. On this basis alone, then there's other arguments that can be made. You would have to concede that men are the primary victims of war if this is always the sort of dynamics that occur in warfare.
I mean, I was just trying to like bring up the point that my main thing that I was thinking of was comfort women and how it affects generational trauma
bad.
and how many victims.
Comfort women.
I know.
Bad.
I know
Totally.
you hate hearing about women.
Any girl does it? Oh my God.
I've never heard the term comfort woman before,
Okay.
so I'm new to
Comfort
that.
woman is like, do you know what it is now? Like,
No,
are you gonna-
that's why I'm being honest. I've never heard that term before.
yeah, during like World War II, they took a bunch of women, usually very, very young, took them from Asia and then like put them in camps with American soldiers. And then they were meant to
The
comfort.
Japanese were notorious for being brutal to the women of the countries that they invaded. So
think
let's
it
not
was
make this like a
Japan.
white person thing.
I
Trust me,
misspoke.
bro,
It was Japanese armies.
Well, no, I mean, there was like prostitution. I don't know. Look, I'm not an expert in like prostitution connected to like military things, but like it is known that the Japanese were pretty fucking brutal.
I know I misspoke. It was the Japanese army that did the comfort women.
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert. It's possible that these other nations also had comfort women.
Yeah.
So
like I
they
was
were
saying,
used?
You
yeah,
kinda wanted
they
to
were
make
put
it
into
about
these
white thing,
camps, and then they were forced to comfort the men by like having sex with them all the time.
But,
and then the
well-
woman would like, like one person would have sex with her very aggressively, and then it would just like keep going for hours and hours and hours.
I mean,
and then
you do know
after
some of
that,
these women were voluntarily prostitutes.
and some men were voluntarily soldiers. What does that have to do with it?
I mean,
Right, but
in the
sh-
U.S., you can't be
Am I wrong?
voluntary soldier. You have to sign up for the draft as a man.
Well, no, you can be a voluntary
You can
soldier.
be.
Well, yes, but you
Voluntary
have to
soldier.
sign up for the draft.
Okay,
Right.
but so you can be voluntary.
As a man, you don't have a say.
Yeah, but she's saying that some men have been forced to go to war against their will.
Right, and comfort women were also forced. But then you also said that some women did it voluntarily. Sure, some soldiers did it voluntarily too.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just using your argument. Oh, I guess it was her argument, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. Well, we have some chats here coming through. Crazy shit.
Cam_from_TMR donated $100. As a black man, she was off with the race bovine feces and now she trolling. Kick her. Lady read a book. There is a difference between systemic racism and racism. Every human being can be racist.
Yo, Cam, thank you so much for the TTS, man. I really appreciate it. By the way, guys, we're probably not going to, heads up, I know sometimes we drop the chat to lower. I'm pretty sure we're not going to have time to do like a roast session, not going to have time to like lower the TTS. So we have also, no, this is that. Thank you, Spax, I guess. Thank you, appreciate it. And then we have Joe Murphy. Isabella, can you read this one?
Yeah. We are totally confused. Didn't the white male patriarchy abolish global slavery? UK, France, and the USA. I suppose it's a first world issue reflected around the globe.
Okay. Nix, just a couple questions for you. Can men that identify as women play in sports?
Like in
Thank you,
women's
Joe,
sports?
for the super chat.
In women's sports?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Can white people culturally appropriate?
Yeah,
Can black people culturally appropriate?
I think so.
Okay. Are white women wearing dreadlocks culturally appropriating black culture?
I think so.
Are you wearing a cross? Mm-hmm. Are you Christian?
I'm practicing Catholic, or culturally Catholic, sorry.
Culturally Catholic?
Filipino culture is like, there's a lot of ties to Catholicism.
Okay, but you're not Catholic.
Not practicing. Like, I don't go to church, but it's part of my culture.
Okay. You have a cross too. Are you also Christian or
I'm Christian.
Catholic? Just Christian. Okay. While I was gone, you said that you hate white people. Is that what she said?
She did say that.
And none of you guys push back on that? That's interesting how that works. Do you want to, like, why, I guess?
I mean, I said right after that I was joking.
Oh, okay. Would you accept that if I said that about black people?
Sure.
I could just erase a statement like that. I could just hand wave it away by just saying I'm joking. What's the joke? Can you explain the joke to me? Because I'm a bit slow.
Because it was outlandish.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, now that explains it. Mm-hmm. You don't actually think it's a joke, though. You genuinely believe it.
No, I don't
Really?
hate white people.
What's that?
I don't hate white people.
Is that the truth?
Yeah. My first 2 boyfriends were white.
So?
don't
Okay,
hate
wait, so
them.
if I date black women, like, or somebody dates black women, that means they can't be racist?
I never said that. I just said they probably don't hate them.
I think you underestimate. Okay, well, is this worth more pushback, Nick, or not really? What do you think?
I guess you could ask her if she likes
Do you like white people?
she has a preference.
Not for dating, just do you like white people?
Like, do I prefer white
No,
people?
no, no. Do you like white people?
Sure, I'm rocking with white people, sure. I don't, yeah, sure.
Okay, well, you said you hate white people. While I was gone, somebody just told me that.
I did say that.
Snitches.
Did she?
Yeah.
She did say it, but then you did follow up with "I'm kidding," but
Yeah.
How soon after she said it?
Like right after. Would it matter if I said it like too long after?
What do you mean?
If I like waited a beat, like if I waited a minute and then I was like, I was joking, by the way, I don't hate white people. Would that matter? Would that make it worse?
that's how you said it, though.
What?
That's how you responded.
What?
I'm joking. I don't hate white people.
Yeah, if I waited too long, would that make a difference?
You did wait too long. To my opinion.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It seems like you wanted
I'm
to
not
throw it
offended.
out and you covered your racism
Yeah.
with... I'm just joking. It's just a joke. Like, you don't want to own that shit. Like, say that shit with your chest.
You're literally creating problems here.
All right. I don't think y'all would be as approving of this if somebody at the table said they hated a racial minority, at least in, well, one that exists in this country anyways. But okay. Is this just like a no accountability night? Just nobody's gonna... All right. All right.
What do you want us to say?
We got multiple white people here, and like you have somebody who just said that she hates white people.
Not offended by it.
I thought she was joking. I didn't know.
Somehow,
Okay. All right.
the world will keep spinning. Everything will be okay.
Oh boy. All right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Should we be
Are you
offended?
personally offended?
Yeah, are you that
Are
easily
you traumatized
offended?
by her statement?
No,
I'm just curious. Are you
Bro, he was attacked by a Filipino on the show.
In the
He can't have a Filipino Uber driver now. I traumatized him. I'm sorry, I play.
So, I mean, to answer your question, though, in the same way that, like, I would find it offensive if a white person said that they hate, if they hate black people. I would find that offensive. I'd find it offensive if somebody says they hate white people. I find it offensive if people say they hate women. I find it offensive if people say they hate men.
That's
So,
true. Yeah.
yeah. I might have some hot takes, but I've said it repeatedly. I would never categorize myself as somebody who hates women. I think women are wonderful. Don't always agree with them on everything, like with anybody, though. most of the women I've dated have been pretty wonderful. I've had, a couple bad dates here and there, but I'd never even though I've had bad experiences, I'm never going to ever say, I hate women. We'll never say it.
That's fair.
Never say it. It's not true. Don't hate women. Love women. Women are great. But women, when they get a couple bad dating experiences, all of a sudden they become misandrous real quick. What do you think about men? What do you think about men?
I think men are cool. I fucks with them.
Do you hate men?
I wouldn't say that. No.
Are you a misandrist?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay. All right. Well, anybody a misandrist here? Really?
Snap it up.
Wait, what
Is
does
it
that
true?
mean?
It's like the opposite of misogyny. So you like misogyny, you hate women. Misandry, you hate men.